So, this is our post Zeus patch tier list. So we just recently had the updated Zeus. Along with that came a couple changes, mostly to items, less so other characters. But we're doing a tier list. We're starting it off with Agni. Agni has pretty much, for the last year, been our pinnacle, like, focal point of balance. He is that character that you look at and you go, he is, like, perfectly balanced. It's just perfect. I don't know how else to explain it. He's perfectly balanced. Amazane Cobb. Amazane Cobb has been hovering around the B tier. That joke will never get old. But as of recently, he's seen play in the Cognitive Invitational, Barracuda playing him, Europe playing him as PL. He's seeing more play. I'm moving him up from B tier to A tier. He's a character that does have a lot of carry potential, although you do have to build a team comp around him. But in the right situation, Amazane Cobb is a very strong character. Pwash. Pwash is above balanced. He is one of the better middles right now. Not like the best middle. He's not broken, right? But he is a character that at level 3 has probably the most damage possible output, except for probably maybe Zeus with your skills. But he's also a big pick, and it's incredible to think that his ultimate used to slow upon all things. What the? Who thought of that? Antner's kind of schmeh. Antner's kind of schmeh. And also, there is no A- tier, by the way. There is no A- tier. Just throwing that out there. There's B, B+, A+, S+, but there's no A-, which is weird. There's no minuses for anything, by the way. It's just there's double tiers. They took away the minus tiers. So, but Antner isn't that bad. B+ range. I wouldn't pick Antner over AMC, kind of thing. Antner is very strong early game. He's got okay clear, but even a character like Amazane Cobb is going to destroy him in clear. I mean, Amazane Cobb has like the best clear in the game, but and he's a late game focused ADC. So why would you pick early game ADC with less clear when you can pick Amazane Cobb? Anubis, you trash. Anubis is not very strong. Anubis is Pwash and Zeus if they had to stand still while using all their abilities, right? That's basically what Anubis is. Pretty similar damage outputs, but you gotta stand still. So, sorry, Goobus. Quanger Banger. He has seen a pretty big drop. I think even in my last tier list, I might have given him S+. This is the first time I'm taking Quang away from the top. We're seeing Ao Quang not get banned. We're seeing Ao Quang not get picked. We're seeing Ao Quang get played and play poorly. He's not having a very strong showing right now. Whether that, I'm not 100% sure why, but in competitive play, for those that have been watching, you know that Ao Quang has not been doing amazing. He's not bad by any means, but he's not peaking out like he used to. Aphrodite is really strong right now. Pretty much all healers right now are extremely strong. Afro, Hell, Sylvanas, characters with self-heals, Raw, all these characters are seeing a stronger play now that Weakening is nerfed. Somewhere, DM's probably screaming, Afro's not A+, she's like S tier. And I love you, DM, but I don't think she's that good. She is good. Like, she's very strong. But, like, I don't think she's broken. Apollo! Apollo right now is really strong. He's one of your pinnacle ADCs. Apollo's probably your top 3 ADCs right now, generically. He has a good beginning, middle, and late game. He has an amazing passive, good skill set, global ult, the CC. He's still the all meets one character. Arachne sucks right now. I pick Arachne before I pick Anubis. She's really not that strong. Gank potential's not awful. The problem with Arachne is pretty much the game hits 25 minutes and then you can't fight anymore because it becomes team fight game. And Arachne sucks at team fights. She's really good at the 1v1 brawl because of her kit, but in team fights, it's hard for her to get into the fight, so she has to use her ultimate to get out, but she can't get in unless she uses her ultimate, and so it just doesn't really work. Ares. Ares is okay. Ares is still a favorite pick for Europe. We saw Myrmidons play Ares this week, I believe, against London Conspiracy. Sounds right. I'm going with it. Myrmidons didn't win, but like Europe likes Ares. Europe plays Ares well. He's not bad. You don't really see him in you don't really see him played though. In at least NA, not that much. Only person in NA that plays him is Aurora, but you know. Artemis. Artemis is strong right now. She's the same. So her and AMC are kind of similar right now. Artemis has a better late game than AMC because of the CC immunity on her ultimate for 3 seconds plus the stun. But AMC has a way easier laning phase because of his clear. Artemis clear sucks. But when Artemis is getting played, when Artemis is getting her team comps built around her, she's actually seeing very strong play, even in SPL levels, when she gets her skill, when she gets online. When Artemis turned online, there's no stopping Artemis. You just, what do you do? Athena's amazing. Athena's still one of your top characters. Also, keep in mind that as I continue to do this tier list, people might shift down, up and down a tier or whatever as you get to other characters. When you're only doing the first few characters, it gets hard to see, but once you start getting the other ones, you're like, oh no, this character. You pick this character before this character, then you start to shift them a little bit. So sometimes this tier list does shift a little bit towards the end as we kind of go through, but you're not going to see, you know, Op Wash go down to C tier out of nowhere or something. Athena, one of your top picks. Oh, you can do, can you put him on the line? Oh, that is cute. I like that. It's bothering my OCD that it's not even, but that's cool. Athena, really strong. You can throw her in support, jungle, middle, solo lane, pretty much anywhere you want. You're not seeing as much solo lane Athena right now because of Bluestone, though. So, sorry, solo lane Athena's. Sorry, me. Wheelish is fine right now. She's right there in the A tier. Hey, thank you, Chief89TV, for the sub. I appreciate it. Got that flex for you, my friend. Wheelish is pretty much balanced right now. She can thrive with knock-up-based team compositions. Gab, Wukong can knock up, whatever, right? But she's not a character that's you're gonna early pick, right? Because you have to later pick her. She does well against a lot of characters with jumps right now. She's good against Fenrir. She's good against Surcat. Bacchus. Bacchus recently got touched a little bit, and I admit I have not had a whole lot of time to play him. The change was his burp now knocks back minions. It makes him a little bit better for clearing because now the minions don't do damage to each other while that's happening. Think of it like Ares Flame Wave. But it's still not amazing. Bacchus' endgame is really good, but he doesn't really have the peel because you're typically just initiating with your skills. But I'm not going to put him lower than Ares. It's the same kind of concept there. over the next, I think, couple of weeks, we'll get a better impression of where Bacchus is if we start to see him, anywhere. So, Bacchusura sucks. You're not playing Bacchusura anywhere right now. It's just not happening. Why are you playing him? You can't play him in solo. You can't play him in the jungle. You have nowhere to play Bacchus. Bastet, she's very, like, meh right now. Like, B plus tier. Like, her jungle is not the worst, but basically what she comes down to is split pushing. She can actually, you know what? She can be played in the solo lane. I'll throw her up to B+. She does have that solo lane aspect because of Bluestone that you can basically look for the poke on the enemy. It can be hard with warriors for her to deal with, you know, Wukong, Osiris, you know, all these gods, Bellona that are, you know, getting played in the solo lane right now, but it's not her strongest meta. So Bologna's still super strong. She's not getting banned anymore like she was. You know, Bellona used to be like up here even. But she's not that kind of dominant laner anymore. So she's kind of A+. She doesn't get banned. She's not usually getting first pick, but she does like second, third pick, you know, material right now. Her jungle is kind of shaky. It used to be really strong. She's pretty much a strictly solo laner right now, but she can kind of work in the jungle. It's just not as, you know, nearly as strong as it used to be. So, Cabrakan down this tier. Yeah, I know that Cabrakan can play solo or jungle or whatever. The point being, Cabrakan sucks. I think I covered it. Did I cover it? I think we got it. Cabrakan sucks. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Everybody's covered. Oh, look at this. Another character that sucks. Chalk. So, Chalk is probably a more of a favorite for he's a favorite of like lower levels because of how easy his clear is, right? You throw your axe, you dash, right? You spun in a circle, you cleared the wave. Early levels, you can get ahead off of that, right? So like when you're learning Smite, he's a good character because his laning phase is easy. But once the game hits 15 to 20 minutes, you know, it's chalk. You become a silent spot for your ultimate. You might as well play Nox. Chang'e! Chang'e's pretty decent right now. So the problem right here, so here's the problem with Chang'e, right? Chang'e has her middle. She's typically played in the solo lane, okay? So people play Chang'e solo. But Chang'e solo right now can't compete with both Hell, right? Hell's in the meta right now, and Bluestone. Bluestone warriors basically destroy everything except for like Hell, right? So she's in a weird spot. You can play her middle. I like her middle, but like in ranked. But the problem with her middle is she has no level 2 fight. Why is the level 2 fight important? For the mid harpies. You don't get the mid harpies, you don't get the other mid harpies. You don't get the other mid harpies, then your dual lane gets ganked because their junglers are level above your jungler, and then they're level 6, and now they gank middle as your jungler's about to hit level 5, and now your jungler never hits level 5, and then your jungle buffs get mid, and the game is over, and that's why she can't middle. Kronos is around this B tier. Same kind of thing as Chang'e. He has nowhere to go. He has no lane. What's he gonna lane against? You know? He can't go middle. He can't really go solo. his end game is still pretty good, but he's never going to make it there with a Bluestone Warrior hitting him. He'll never make it. Kronos will get destroyed by Wukong. You're going to get cudgeled in your face 3 times, and then you're dead. You know? What are you going to do? Cupid! Cupid's not awful. He's like pretty low on the list of ADCs, but as far as like a generic character goes, he's not that bad. Competitively, I mean, we saw Barra play him and do well, but he's just not that strong. I mean, he has okay clear. His kill potential is really good. Mainly his Khepri, or with Khepri, Cupid plus Khepri is like really strong, but it's just, I mean, your late game sucks. Your mid game team fight is like your strongest potential though, so I mean, you can work. I mean, Barra did it and it worked, so it's not that bad if you can play it competitively and win. To be fair, we couldn't fight back. Whatever. Fenrir's strong right now. Probably not above a balance point. He has a lot of counterplay to him. I mean, all you got to do is get him out of his brutalize. But there's a lot of characters that he does hard counter to. You know, any character that doesn't have a jump that can't get out of your brutalize, or can't like hard restart your brutalize with a stun or something. But he can do jungle and solo fairly well. His solo's having a harder time just because of how strong warriors are right now. Bluestone kind of killed Fen, so. Freya's balanced. She's fine right now, but the thing with Freya is you only see her in 2 extremes, because so you play Freya ADC, right? That's only where you play Freya right now, and you do Freya and you destroy, and you do Freya or you get destroyed. Those are the only 2 like Freya tiers. You either destroy everybody in 10-0, or you feed your brains out in your 0 and 10. She has like no schmedium. She has no schmedium. There is no schmedium, and her SPL record is very poor right now. So Geb is one of the strongest characters in the game right now. Geb has been one of the strongest characters in the game for a long time. Mainly because of Geb Shield. There's no way to get around it. Geb Shield is arguably the best support ability in the game, / ability in the game, period. The main focal point of it being that it's a cleanse, which is it's a free beads. It's a free beads for your team. I mean, can you get around a free beads? Not really. So, Guan Yu is doing okay right now. He's doing alright. The only place you're really seeing him is in the solo. He can be played support, and if you play ranked, you probably see him in the jungle. Guan Yu's end game is actually fairly good right now. With Mail of Renewals, with his cooldown that he's getting quite, plus Bluestone at the start. Bluestone start for Guan in the solo lane is pretty good. But the problem is, if you try to run him anywhere else...
This is actually the worst Tierlist I've ever seen, and I've seen some shit.
Waken thinks he can play gods. He thinks he can play gods. Guan Yu has the heal, which is fine, but his support's very small right now. You can't really support Guan Yu because you have to be playing Guardians, because Guardians are so strong right now over there, so you can't really do anything about that. Hades is pretty much balanced. Hades solo is not nearly as strong. When we started this season, remember when like Hades was up here? It was like first pick, first ban Hades all day. That was pretty much what was happening. Back when Divio started playing him, but he's kind of dropped out. Warriors do really strong against him. You're seeing him more as a mid laner. Kiki plays a middle. MLC Stealth likes to play a middle. Last will play a middle. He's seeing more success in the mid lane than he is anywhere else right now. Hubwa. Unfortunately, Hubwa is just not finding his place. Hubwa, the biggest problem with Hubwa is he has too many hard counters. They pick Hubwa, you immediately pick Fenrir. Game's over, right? It's just, there's not enough he can do. He's a super unsafe version of Obwash and Zeus, right? He's even more, you just can't do anything. You can't do anything with Hebo. I love Hebo. He's one of my favorite characters, but he sucks. Hell, on the other hand, is one of the best characters in the game right now. Hell recently shooting up due to the Weakening Curse nerf. For those that don't know, Weakening Curse now only got reduced 35%, so it's no longer 100% healing reduction. It's only 65%. Simultaneously, she is pretty much one of the only characters that can fight against warriors, right? She's a hard counter to Wukong. The only real counter, when the game hits like 20-25 minutes, Hell turns on and you can't turn her off. Sir Cat counters are hard and Odin counters are hard. If those options are off the table, Hell is like an instant win. It's just the way it is. That's the one thing that Europe did that NA went, nah. And then somebody played it in NA and everybody went, oh, Europe on point. And then we played it. Hercules is balanced right now. We actually played Hercules in the mid lane because we had Korea as our sub for Kiki one game. Less healing reduction means Hercules can heal himself more, but it's not, Bluestone pretty good on him, but he's not doing crazy. He's not like carrying games by himself. Hui right now down in C tier because as of this moment doing this patch, Hui's bugged. Hui's 1 is not properly functioning. That is his ricochet. It is not hitting the targeters off point. And it's not hitting properly. So, he's a bugged character. It's kind of important to be able to hit your ricochet onto Hui. So, it's not his fault. He's bugged. No, there's no plan so far to fix it, so.
Hashtag stop this nonsense.
Hunbat is strong right now. Not like OP, but he's pretty balanced. He's got pretty much only jungle presence. You're not really playing him anywhere else. You're just playing him in the jungle. His ultimate will always be strong. As long as Hunbat has his ultimate, you're gonna be fine. So, Isis. Isis is super underrated right now. Isis is not getting like any game time played at all. Like none. She went from getting picked every single game to getting picked never, and pretty much nothing changed besides the fact that like Blink meta was messing her up pretty bad, but she's still the same character. She's still got tons of stuff to do.
Hashtag stop this tier list.
Why is this happening? You guys are so troll. I'm just trying to be helpful here. I'm trying to be helpful. Janice. Janice is one of your top picks right now. Janice has... He's dumb, right? So, his portal is on way too low of a cooldown. His unstable vortex does way too much damage.
Ban week 3N.
Ban weekend? I'm down. I am down to ban weekend. Threshold is probably one of the best, probably the best mage ability in the game. Just generic. It slows and is a speed buff. And his ultimate has a 0-second cooldown for an ultimate that goes across the map. So, what are you gonna do? Kali is very meh. She has good capabilities when combined with other people. By herself, she's not one of the strongest characters. If she gets paired with Aphrodite, if she gets paired with
Weekend, you shitter.
Kepri
Incon carries your sorry ass through SPL, and UBM is tier list. Go play Thanatos trash
she
bag.
can do a lot of
Put
things.
MSS, Nazi AAAAA plus tier.
So like, she's just in a weird spot, you know, but she can. but she can. Khepri! Khepri's super strong. Khepri's at about S tier. Khepri is super hard to lane against. Khepri has the best clear out of any support, but the thing with Khepri is Khepri doesn't have initiation.
I want to actually.
Khepri's initiation is completely reliant on the pluck, right? And the pluck is not very strong. The best thing you're going to be able to do is pull one person, they can be out or whatever. So you really need to have somebody else initiate on your team if you want to be doing that. It's just the only way. Kukulkan! Woo! I'm just joking with you. Kukulkan sucks. Kukulkan is an even worse version of Hebo, right? So Hebo is a bad version of like Alposh, and Kukulkan is a bad version of the bad version of Alposh. Kukulkan has an ultimate that does a lot of damage that you can pretty much avoid with like half a Brian. Right? With half a Brian. So, and that's all of your damage. It's so reliant on it. And you have no getaway skill. You're a Hebo, the ult that you can't guarantee hit. So, what's the point? Kumba Kana. Kumba, on the other hand, is on the up and up. Kumba is a character that you can play in multiple roles. I mean, legit, in ranked at least, you can play Kumba in support, jungle, middle, and solo. That's 4 roles that Kuma right now is viable in. I've got him at A+ for now. As people continue to play him, this character may continue to move up this tier list. He's a character that you should look out for. He's definitely a character you should out for. Loki! Loki's trash. The only redeeming factor of Loki is if the game goes 40 minutes long and you're against Freya, you're going to one-shot Freya because that's the inherent part of Loki. Chances are you won't ever make it that far. Your team's going to lose before then, or you can just try to split push. But for the most part, Loki's trash. Medusa. Medusa's at a perfect focal point of balance right now. She was really, really, really bloated when she started, but right now she's got one of the stronger clears of her hunters. She works pretty well with Bluestone. She has a good getaway skill that can also double as a good aggressive skill with a really high base damage. Her ultimate's one of the best teamfight ultimates for hunters, if not the best teamfight ultimate. But she's not the best 1v1 hunter. She's not going to typically demolish somebody in the 1v1 if she used to, and that's why she kind of got nerfed, because she was getting picked and banned every game. That's why she's kind of, you know, that's why she's in a great spot right now. You can pick her viably. That's what you're supposed to be able to do. Mercury! Mercury is bad. When's the last time you saw a good Mercury? The answer is Korea playing with his silly Mercury build in ranked. Mercury maybe could see an increase to like here-ish, depending on his team composition and how... If he gets early kills, he can still do well, but like that goes for every character. So you can't really change something based off the fact that they can snowball. It's the same thing with Kali. Kali can snowball, but Kali can also just get killed at level 4. So Neith's fine. Neith is the best lane clear for hunter outside of maybe AMC. But Neith has no carry potential, and that's the problem with Neith. You have the global ultimate across the map. If you're playing Neith, that means you have a carry elsewhere, right? If you're playing Neith, you have a Kali in the jungle, you have a...
But Neith is the best ADC
assassin in the solo lane.
Best ADC of all time.
Something like that, right? That's kind of what you're looking at for if you have Neith, because Neith is not going to carry out your game. She's going to drop off, so you need to get somebody else big. Even a big mage middle, you can maybe do Plosh middle or something where you just want to get the Plosh combo off on somebody with Neith ult. Nemesis sucks. Nemesis has no jungle clear. She was a very hog-dependent hog-dependent assassin, and she's really never recovered from the hog nerf. She didn't also work with Blink, and Blink was so in the meta, so she might see like a little bit of a turnaround just because Blink isn't necessary anymore. It's not completely broken, but Neja's doing fine right now. Normally I probably would have put Neja down here, but I'm putting him in A tier because Dare to Care has been playing Neja really well. If somebody can play a character up to a standard, then that character is really not that bad. It's just how you play that character. It's your play style. Neja played really well against Serket. It played well at the LAN. It played well yesterday when you played it again.
Oh,
it just keeps playing well. Hey, thank you, Sums, for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sums, for the sub. Get that big old flag. Oh, big old flag. So, thank you, though. I appreciate it. But, yeah, Neja is doing pretty strong right now. He's not going to... I don't think it's something you're going to see anybody pull out. I think that's pretty much a Dare to Care pick. But it is working very well for them in their playstyle. All right. Nox. Nox is B tier. So the problem with Nox, right? The problem with Nox is she has really no way to secure her damage. She's not completely awful. Somebody you're actually, you probably have seen play Nox fairly well recently is MLC. MLC is actually a pretty big fan of Nox. I don't know if it's just the kid or not, but he does like her. Not really SPL tier. She does have a good ultimate, and her getaway skill is great because you can just go inside somebody and sit there for forever. But her main damage component is all messed up. So, if you miss the root / they beach the root, you can't do any damage for like another 10 seconds. And that's a huge problem for a mid. That can't happen. Nuwa. Nuwa was a character that was getting a lot of play. She was getting like this kind of tier play. Putting her down at B+. I think Nuwa was a character that kind of came into the meta and was getting really favored because people forgot how to play against Nuwa, right? It was the situation where nobody plays Nuwa, and then somebody played Nuwa, and everybody went, oh my god, she's got a global ult that can do damage! And then everybody started playing her again, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, instead of fighting in like other places, let's just go kill Nuwa. And then you kill Nuwa and she can't ult when she's dead. I think Chaos plays more Nuwa than anybody else, and he has the highest deaths in the SPL. I mean, that's a correlation. Odin. Odin has seen recent success. Both in SPL and these lands we've been having. The big reason why Odin is such a strong pick right now is because of the Weakening Curse nerf. So Weakening Curse gets nerfed, right? Which means that it's harder to counter healers. So healers come back into the meta. You're playing Hel and Aphrodite and Sylvanas. Who counters those three characters super hard? Odin does. Odin counters those characters super hard. Odin got a ton of play at the LAN because it was like, oh, they picked Hel. Well, we're going to pick Odin. It's literally just comes down to his ultimate. There you go. Osiris. Osiris is one of the strongest solo laners right now. He's not as strong as Wukong, though. He's probably around this A+ to A range. Throw him over there in A+ for now. I mean, he's basically a character that you can just pick and say, hey, we have a solo lane. You can't invade against Osiris because he's super strong level 1. Osiris works super well with Death Toll and Bluestone. You can use him as a counter pick. You can use him as a base pick. You can throw him in the jungle even. He doesn't have to go solo. You can also go in the jungle. He's just a strong pick. He's not like Wukong level strong, but he's strong. Poseidon. Poseidon's balanced. There was like a huge... Remember when Aegis got nerfed forever ago when everybody was like, Poseidon sucks, and he's like all the way down here. It's like, oh my god. Or Poseidon's the best. And then Poseidon was like down here for a bit, and Aegis got nerfed, and then Poseidon was up here, and it was like, oh my god, you can't stop the Kraken. Everybody ban Poseidon. You know, a whole bunch of things. But he kind of always ends up back in A tier. He's a character that comes down to, did you hit your Kraken? Cool, right? It's the kind of same thing as Kukulkanult, right? Did you hit your Kukulkanult? Cool. The thing is, Poseidon Kraken has a whirlpool, and then you Kraken, and it's really easy to hit the Kraken comparatively to a Kukulkanult. Really easy. Like 80,000 times easier. Voila! Ra is seeing a lot of success right now. If this was Lastus's Ra, I might put it like up here. I don't know why. That boy has got the Ra of time. But Ra was not seeing any competitive play at all until the healing got nerfed. Or not healing got nerfed, but the weakening, the anti-healing got nerfed. Once anti-healing got nerfed, Ra has seen a lot of play. Lobster historically loves Ra, and of course, Last loves Ra. So, it's getting good play. Ram is still one of your top ADCs. You're not seeing Ram explode as much as I think as we're used to seeing from Rama. And honestly, I'm going to attest that to Snoopy no longer playing ADC. I'm throwing it out there. Rama has not been getting played as strong because Snoopy is not playing Rama anymore. For anybody that has ever watched Snoopy's Rama, you will never, ever, ever think that Rama is not one of the best hunters in the game. It's just not possible. If you hit the ultimate, Rama's like the best hunter. It's just he can 1v1 with it. He can pick off people in mid with it. It's just... Ratataskar. Rat's fine. The problem is when you're a fine character, you're not getting played, right? So he's not seeing a whole lot of play because you're seeing Osiris, Odin, Bellona, outquang Athena. You're seeing all these characters over Rat. Somebody that still plays Rat historically is DJ Perticus, one of his favorite characters, but he does well, but he's not like, it's not like the game is over kind of thing. Raven's pretty bad. Down here around this B tier, not super strong. Not the worst character in the game. I would pick Ravana over Kubrakan and Anubis. He has very, very limited counter matchups. Like, he has, like, just a couple matchups that he can do. Just a couple. He's got, like these itty-bitty matchups where he does actually win against some of the more prominent solo laners. You know? It could happen. I'm not saying that Cyclone's going to pick it, but I'm not ruling it out. I'll tell you right now, Cyclone's not playing Chalk, but Cyclone could play Raven. And that's not because we tell him no, it's because Cyclone hates Chalk. Scylla! The problem with Scylla and why she's in B+ is she doesn't have clear. So, a big thing with middles right now, right? Let's look at our middles. Ra, Poseidon, Hades, Pwash, okay? Hell, all of the Janus, all of these characters, what do they have over the mages in the bottom tier is clear. Clear for middles is so important because of the mid-harpies. Mid-harpies, literally, what you have to do is you either get the mid-harpies or you lose the next 4 minutes of the game. That's pretty much the situation that you're in. Scylla can never get the mid-harpies, assuming the enemy middle has any clear. Serket's still super strong. Nothing changed about Serket. She got a pretty poor showing at the LAN, but basically the situation for Serket is nothing changed for her. Blink got nerfed. It doesn't matter to Serket. She doesn't care. Healing got better. Well, guess who's got anti-healing? Serket. She's still one of the best characters in the game. She could even be S+ tier, but yonder. So bad. Sobek's balanced. I mean, we saw Jeff Hidla play Sobek at the LAN. I don't know if it was the strongest pick, but it was very strong against healing. Sobek has the built-in anti-healing. Sobek does have a very aggressive play style, but not necessarily our favorite Guardian right now for other things. Wukong! Wukong's right at the top. Wukong is getting a whole lot of play because he's super strong. Basically, Wukong was like very average, as Weekend would say. Very average. And then Bluestone came in and all of a sudden Wukong went, oh, I'm the best now. Like, pretty easy. Wukong solo lane almost has no counters outside of like Hell. Wukong support is fine, but there's a lot of other Guardians that have better peel, but Wukong support is probably going to win the lane period just because of how good his clear is. And you can run Wukong jungle. Sylvanas. Sylvanas is a great support right now. I think Sylvanas is underrated. He has heals, which is, you know, even better than they were before. He still has the ultimate, which is basically Gebolt, but better. The rest of his kit is, you know, where it's not quite as strong. The pull is good, but it's on a super high cooldown. The root's fine. His passive, you know, got nerfed a couple months ago. He's still a good character. He still typically will win lane because of his AoE auto attacks. But at the end of the game, you know, do you want a Sylvanas pull or do you want a 3-man Athena taunt? Sylvanas pull, a Geb shield. You know, just one of those things. Thanatos. Thanatos isn't awful. Thanatos, right? Early game characters of all early game characters. If you're playing him, you should pretty much invade most of the time. Works okay with Bluestone Pendant if you want to go that route. I mean, he does have a lot of damaging skills. His scythe, you know, will hit even harder like that. He has the ultimate, which works well now. The ultimate just got better a little bit, considering Kepri's a top pick ban. It will go through, executes will go through Kepri ultimate, so that's something to factor in as well. You're not really seeing him, though, because look at all these characters that are above him. Thor! Thor's pretty good right now. Thor's just a base character that kind of comes in and out. I'm giving him a little bit higher than where he normally stands. I would normally put him in A tier, but as of recently, it's just Thor, right? It's typical Thor. You spin and you do a lot of damage. You throw your hammer, you do a lot of damage. You have a good stun, which has a good setup. You have the ultimate, which is more setup plus good damage. You can run him in the solo lane because he works well with Bluestone. You can run him in the jungle. He's just an overall good god. Tier. I'm going to give Tier A. So, Tier, I think previously I had put maybe down in B plus B. He's not atrocious right now. He's not, so he can only be played in the solo lane, right? You're not throwing Tier anywhere else but the solo lane. He does decent against some of the other warriors. He's not too bad against Wukong. Is like his main kind of pick right there. Is like Tier does pretty well against Wukong, and Wukong's like one of the main solo lane picks. So that kind of brings up Tier a little bit. Blink got nerfed. Tier doesn't have to go Blink. You can just kind of use your ultimate for initiation and build tanky like you would on a solo laner anyway. So, Ul. Ul is an interesting character to put him in. I'm going to put Uller in A. I thought about putting him in A+, specifically because of Zapman's Uller, but I'm not going to. The only character I did specifically really because of anybody was Neja's, Dare to Care, Neja. But Uller loves Bluestone Pendant, right? The Axeman loves himself some Bluestone because he's got 87 skills that do damage. If you hit your skills with Uller, you're pretty much going to get a kill. If you've got an aggressive support in your lane, Ymir, Capri, even a Sylvanas, you're going to get early kills. Is his endgame as good as Apollo? Nah. Is his early game better? Yeah. There you go. That's math. Alright, Vamana's, you know, most broken character in the game. Alright, I'm out. Peace. Everybody pick Vamana. Alright, I'm back. Seriously though, I love Vamana. He's not that OP though. Vamana's balanced. So, Vamana is a character that you're pretty much only running in the solo lane. He's pretty strong. You're not building him like you used to. You're pretty much only playing Vamana as a bruiser right now. You got to throw... You don't build him auto-attacky like you used to. You still probably want to work in the Fatalis for the ultimate. But Vamana with Bluestone is one of the few characters in the game that actually beats Wukong. If anybody's been frustrated looking for a character to beat Wukong with, it's Vamana. Vamana with Bluestone, Red Pot beats Wukong in lane with the same thing. Vulcan! I'm putting Vulcan down in C tier because Vulcan is also bugged. Vulcan and Woojer. Grr, stop it. Is it alphabetical? Is that why it's doing that? What? No. Whatever. Vulcan and Woojer are both bugged right now. Vulcan's 1 does not work all the time. You can't play a character whose skills don't work. Vulcan's 1 right now, like 70% of the time works. 30% of the time it doesn't fire. It literally you'll back up, but it doesn't shoot out the projectile. It doesn't shoot. You can't have your main skill not shoot. So, there you go. Xbalanque. Xbalanque is one of our top 100s right now. Xbalanque is like the opposite of AMC in terms of early game, right? AMC's got all the push. Xbalanque has so much not push that it actually heals the minions. The thing with Xbalanque though is his ultimate global is one of the better global ults in the game in terms of just straight usefulness. It does give him assists for kills. And if he gets an early game kill, even though he shouldn't, that kind of snowball can be out of control. And once you hit 20 minutes, regardless, Xbalanque has an extra built-in 50 damage with bolas plus any of the passive damage, which can be another 30, so like plus 80 damage. I mean, that's a lot of damage. So, Xingten. Xingten is a god that I have not put a whole bunch of time into, unfortunately. But I know other people have. I think Weekend loves him. I'm pretty sure Cyclone loves him. This god I'm ranking based off of Weekend and Cyclone and what I hear from other people, and I'm throwing him in S tier. I haven't played him enough to personally really judge this character because I haven't played him really since he got this last little nerf. But everybody tells me that Xingten is S tier, so I'm putting Xingten S tier. Sue me. Ymir is here. Ymir is A tier. I'd pick Ymir before I picked Ares. Ymir can also technically work in the jungle and the solo lane. You're not really seeing him over there now because of warriors right now. It's Ymir. Doing Ymir things. Alright. So here's the interesting one. Zeus. Zeus post-nerf has really brought a lot of people to different conclusions. So this is where it gets interesting. Everybody in chat, tell me where you think Zeus should be on this chart. And I guarantee we have every single tier listed. Incoming every tier. There they are. That's every tier. Alright. So, Zeus, since his change, has gone up. We're on the up and up, okay? So, Zeus used to be trash. We're rising up. Where did we rise up to? A+. We rose up to A+. Zeus is essentially Outwash 2.0, which is essentially Anubis 3.0. Anubis is bad Outwash, which means Anubis is also bad Zeus. Zeus has a mid-harpy fight that you cannot contest against because of the nature of his chain lightning. His level 5 is one of the most damaging abilities in the game. He is extremely unsafe, even more so than Outwash, but he has more damage outpush than Outwash, and it's almost guaranteed. All you have to do to land Zeus skill or Zeus damage is throw out your shield and throw your chain lightning at the shield. You don't even gotta aim it at a person. You just gotta put it at the inanimate object. It'll stack up on them. You throw down ultimate. You get your last stack on the person. You throw down your detonator and they're dead. Every time. And Zonkui, who gets no love from anybody, is my personal choice that I'm putting in A. That god, I would say most people would put him in B to B+. I think Zonkui is underrated. I don't think he's OP, but I think Zonkui is underrated. So I'm putting him in A because I like to play him. So that's my one god that I choose to put him where I want him. I like the Donger. So this is our tier list. Decently symmetrical as far as it goes. Most of our gods are in A tier as they should be, with our deviation going out to A+ and B+ being essentially even. We get down to B and S, and those are also fairly even, and then we get to S+ and C where it's a little bit more skewed. We would like to have fewer gods there. There would be, though, Huyi and Vulcan, neither of them would be down to that C tier if they weren't bugged, which would make it a whole lot more even, but pretty close to a bell curve than not. But that is our tier list, guys. This is what we're looking at right now for this next upcoming